There are two kinds of people in the world. One takes a sip of root beer and says, "Oh wow, this is my childhood." The other winces as if they've just swallowed. Mouthwash. Same bottle. Same formula. Yet, the reactions are so different, it feels like we're talking about two separate planets. How can one soft drink divide humanity so dramatically? Why do many Americans see it as a symbol of summer? While some people in Asia or Europe feel like they're drinking cough syrup, the answer isn't inside the bottle. It's inside your brain, and inside memories you might not even realize you have. In the United States, root beer isn't just a beverage. It's a ritual, especially the root beer float. Cold root beer poured over a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Foam rises. The ice cream slowly melts into a sweet, creamy cloud. An 8-year-old holds that glass on a July afternoon. Sitting on the porch, cicadas humming in the background. Classic rock playing softly on the radio. That moment isn't just about taste. It's about context, sound, temperature, and the feeling of belonging. The human brain has a fascinating shortcut. Scent travels directly to the limbic system, the region responsible for emotion and memory. Unlike sight, it doesn't need to pass through as many rational filters. That's why a single smell can pull you back 20 years in a second. If you've ever caught the scent of mooncakes and instantly thought of childhood mid-autumn festivals, you've experienced this mechanism. For millions of Americans, the aroma of sassafras and vanilla is woven into childhood. So when they drink root beer, they're not just tasting sweet herbs, they're tasting memory. But if you grew up somewhere without root beer, your brain doesn't have that memory file saved, so it searches for the closest comparison. And this is where things get interesting. The distinctive aroma of root beer often includes compounds like methyl salicylate and flavorings that mimic sassafras. Methyl salicylate may sound intimidating, but it's simply oil of wintergreen, the scent commonly found in medicated balms and muscle rubs. The human brain works by pattern matching. When you encounter a new smell, it asks, "What does this remind me of?" If you grew up in a place where methyl salicylate mostly appeared in ointments, your brain labels it medicine. And when that medicine suddenly tastes sweet and fizzy, something feels off. On the other hand, if you grew up drinking root beer long before smelling medicated balm, your brain labels it fun drink. Same molecule, two completely different stories. This isn't about having a good or bad palate. It's about early exposure. Research on taste development shows that childhood experiences can shape preferences for life. If you eat durian from a young age, its smell may feel comforting. If you first encounter it at 25, the reaction can be intense. Root beer sits squarely in that controversial zone. It isn't a universal fruit flavor like orange or lemon. It's a cultural flavor. And when culture changes, reactions change. There are many divisive foods: blue cheese, fermented shrimp paste, durian. But root beer is unique because it looks harmless. It's a brown, carbonated soda. It resembles cola. You expect something familiar, then you take a sip. The gap between expectation and reality creates shock. In psychology, this is known as prediction error. Your brain predicts cola. Instead, it receives a herbal, medicinal aroma. The natural response is rejection. Americans don't experience that shock. They know exactly what they're about to taste. And when expectation matches reality, the experience feels pleasant. Interestingly, root beer rarely wins people over on the first try. It's a bit like black coffee. The first sip may taste bitter, but if it's paired with a positive experience, your brain can learn to love it. So the real question isn't, is root beer good or bad? The real question is, when did you first encounter it? And under what circumstances? Maybe it's not liquid toothpaste. Maybe it's just a story you haven't lived yet. The next time you see someone grimace at root beer, don't laugh too quickly. They might simply be hearing a different memory speaking inside their mind. And if you disliked it the first time you tried it, who knows? A few years from now, in an American-style diner, on a hot afternoon, With a slowly melting scoop of vanilla ice cream, you might feel differently. And if it still tastes like mouthwash to you, that's perfectly fine too. The world needs small, harmless debates like this to keep the party interesting. Perhaps next time, we'll dissect another food that's quietly dividing humanity, and maybe you only dislike it because your brain hasn't updated the file yet.